Kane, it's 1-0. We're fucking down. 13th in the championship. The takeover happened, as I said it would. People will be... Oh, when have we got Leeds? Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe football show. And it's been a minute, hasn't it? It was only a couple of hours ago I was here, and I was hoping tonight I'd be bringing you some confirmed manager news. But unfortunately, Daniel Farke hasn't been officially announced yet. But I think it is safe to say now that Leeds United have got their man, the world's worst, best kept secret, if that's the way you say it. Look, Daniel Farke, the betting's been stopped. He is our man. It was reported yesterday by Sky Sports Germany and has been reported now by The Guardian, by the YEP, by the BBC. And I even got a text off my good man, Russ, who's in the chat tonight, to say he was watching BBC Look North. And they also said that the Leeds boss is going to be announced in the coming days. Now, of course, you've heard my thoughts on this many times already. So again, I like to bring content creators together to get their opinion and contributions on the channel. And tonight I've got with me, first and foremost, the Mario to my Luigi is, of course, Andrea Russo. How are you doing, brother? You good?
You good? Yeah. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm a little bit tired. I can't lie to you, but I'm doing good. I'm gonna have an early night tonight, mate. You know, I'm gonna do this at nice times. Yeah, it's 7:30, and then I'm going to go to bed because tomorrow's money in the bank. And you know, I like my rest. Don't go to bed just yet. Yeah. So,
I know.
We've got the returning Lockie. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Not bad. Yeah.
Good. I hope you're doing well. And for Lockie's mates that are watching, leave off him, man, will you?
They'll love that. They'll absolutely love that.
Yeah, man. You know, on that Discord. Calm down, boys. And we've also we've got a debut here for Lloyd at Let's Talk Leeds United. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, all good, mate. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No, it's a pleasure, mate. It's a pleasure. Honestly, it's a pleasure. It's great to see content creators coming up and doing their thing. And I know, obviously, you've watched my stuff in the past and that. So, you know, I like to help where I can. So, everybody, make sure you check out Lloyd's stuff. Brand new channel. His link is in the description, along with Lockie and, of course, Andrea Russo as well. So, make sure you check them all out. But we're here first and foremost to talk about Daniel Farke. And before we get stuck into the confirmed reports, you've heard from Andre, you've probably heard from Lockie as well. But Lloyd, I'll come to you, mate. How are you feeling about Daniel Farke being the manager? Happy?
Yeah, I'm delighted. Especially when, you know, there's like that 24, 48 hours period where it looked like it was going to be Vieira. And I was terrified. And, you know, I've got nothing against Vieira personally, but I just didn't have a good vibe about it at all. So then when Farke started circulating again, I was, you know, started to feel a bit more at ease.
Yeah. I was having a look at your channel earlier on, mate, and I checked out that video, brother. You know,
yeah. I sort of going through the motions a bit. Like one day I was like, "It's cool, it's all under control." Then the next day I'm like, "Oh my god, 30-odd day till the season starts." But yeah,
exactly. Bipolar Joe, I call myself, because one video I'll be going, "Yeah, man, it's all cool. You need to relax," and then the next video I'm going, "Yeah, fella, taking the piss." You know what I mean? It's a mad one. Now that it's been announced, Lockie, how are you, mate? With well, it's not been officially announced, but it has, if you know.
Yeah. We all know, don't we? I think. Yeah. Buzzing, honestly. It's one of them. You have to understand where we are as a club, the position we're in. Yeah. Realistically, is there anyone with a better proven record that's apart from maybe Nuno that you could argue? But
well, to be honest, bro, there's only ever been 2 double winners of the championship, and it's been Daniel Farke and from Barnsley. No, my mind's gone. From Barnsley, Ipswich, Wolves. What's he called?
Mick McCarthy.
McCarthy.
Yeah, McCarthy. What am I on about?
Sorry, you're waiting for someone to help you there.
I always do it, man. I always do it. So Mick McCarthy,
like his best friend.
Yeah, they've done the double, right? They've done the double. So we might get the triple winner. in
that's
Daniel
it.
Farke.
And for me, is that along with his style of play, which I think for the most part is attractive. If you get the right players around him, I'm buzzing. If we back him, I think
same. Yeah, that's the thing. If we back him, definitely.
I think we would.
Before so do I. Before I come to you, Andrea, I'm just going to quickly flash up the confirmed article just for those that haven't seen it or those that call me clickbait. The guy that I had to go at yesterday for calling me clickbait actually came back to my comments today and went, "You had to go at me, and it hadn't been announced." So yeah, he had to go back. So I'm having to go back at you now, son. All right. But let me get this. Let me get this article up there. So Farke set to be named new Leeds boss as Vieira heads for Strasbourg. I feel like I've read this type of article about 15 times now, if I'm honest, but this is the latest one. And I think this is the key part to take out for it, is that Daniel Farke is expected to become Leeds United new manager and hopes to be instilled in time for the Championship squad's return to training on Monday. Now, we as fans know that they're going to return on Sunday, but I do feel the club may try to I don't know how to sort of get away with it, in a sense that they'll just say that Sunday was all about the medical team, and then on Monday it'll be like, now we're getting down to it, kind of thing. So we know that they're back on Sunday, but it looks like it might be Monday. Hopefully we'll get an announcement before Monday, before the players return. So he's going to be come back, and like someone said in the comments as well. So this is from the BBC. Adam Pope himself has done a piece saying Farke expected to be named at Leeds United. He does go on to say, "I'm expecting former Norwich City boss Daniel Farke to be announced as Leeds' new head coach. I understand the deal is agreed and that contracts await signing." So there you go. The only caveat is that nothing has been officially confirmed. And Andrea, we're Leeds fans. We should know better than to say, yes, it's 100% happened. But I think it's done, right?
Yeah, it's done. I think it's done. It's like the best kept secret right now. In Italy we say the secret of Pulcinella. That's the expression. I'm happy, like Lloyd and Loki said, because if you look at his record, he's won it twice, and he has a style of play, like we said multiple times in the past, that is attractive. It excites you. I've actually watched him football. This is a sensation we haven't felt since the Bielsa days.
Exactly.
Looking at the managers that have succeeded, Marcelo, So yeah, it's done, and I hoped they will have announced it by Saturday, by tomorrow. But as the reports are saying, they're waiting for the confirmation of the takeover. But I don't think it's coming tomorrow. So
surely we're not going to get that on a weekend, right?
Exactly. And if you read the Graham Smith piece, actually the article, it says that they may announce him even if the takeover is not completed, because they're simply waiting now for the takeover to be ratified, But if it takes so long and it goes through the next week in terms of length, I think they will announce it on Monday or hopefully on Sunday too, because we know the players come back on Sunday, then they have the test Sunday and Monday at Leeds Beckett, and then their training starts on Tuesday night.
Yeah, exactly that. And look, I think I just want to bring up this tweet as well from LUFC Data. Big shout out, Chris at LUFC Data. He mentions, and this is taken from the Guardian article as well, that all these coaches are expected to join up with him as well. And I think for me, Lockie, that's a real positive, because I think the past season, it almost felt very haphazard for me in terms of how the Jesse Marsh era was put together. They couldn't get his number two. They ended up getting John Toshack. They ended up getting, Rennie Marich and then Skubala. And it just felt like it was
Chris
Armas, exactly.
Yeah. Just thrown together, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So hodgepodge, and no one had a clue. I mean, I watched TalkSport earlier on, and Carl Robinson said basically, I don't want to say too much, but the stories that I heard about what was going on with the previous regimes, Lockie, it worried me. So it's positive that Daniel Farke is able to bring his full squad, like Bielsa did, right?
That's what you want. You want him there with the people that know him, support him, have been with him for years by the sounds of it. you know, it's a squad. It's that environment as well. It's, you know, the players coming back to that environment. Everyone's on the same page. There's no questions. It's just a quiet environment where they can get on with training, get on with it, and prepare. And that's what we need. We need that back, don't we? We haven't had that in. Like, when have the players really been close to a coach?
They
haven't really. It's just been in and out,
since
hasn't
God
it?
himself, innit? Since Bielsa.
Yeah,
really.
literally. And,
yeah, exactly.
So now to have that, I guess, stability for now, unless he starts the season terribly, you know, to have that stability though and come back to a full training, you know, with all the managers there. Some players, I imagine some will leave, and we'll probably talk about that. But for some players, it might give them a bit of enthusiasm for the season.
Yeah, of course.
So it's only a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you bang on the money, and you know, because it was clear that when Rennie Maric left, he had things to say about Jesse, didn't he?
Rennie Maric,
I remember.
Very big on he's huge on it. You know, he did blogs and stuff. He did magazines. He was really good. He was the assistant manager of Borussia Dortmund before he came to Leeds. He's got good pedigree, and he's 30 now, 31. He's really young, and I just feel like he couldn't bring his ideas forward, and he clearly was very frustrated with that. So it didn't work. It didn't work at all.
It's
you know, we're saying it's like 99.9% done. Did any of you see the clickbait from Talk Sport earlier?
Yeah.
I think I was like, no way.
They were trying to bring it down, but connecting with what Lucky said, actually, it's really important to have a proven coaching staff because I've done a bit of research on his coaching staff actually, and they're working together for years now. They were each players when he coached in his first managerial appointment, actually, when he was at Leeds.
Oh, wow.
But Edmund Reimer, he was the centre back. He played for 6 seasons under Farke down there. So he knows him. He was first a player, then he joined his coaching staff later when he moved to Borussia Dortmund, the second team of Borussia Dortmund. And the other one too, Christopher John, he was the holding midfielder in Farke team at Leeds. So they know each other.
They're like his disciples, like Bielsa.
That's
cool. Exactly. Basically, and they're very young too. It's a very young coaching staff. They formed under Farke because they were his players. Then after he moved to Borussia Dortmund, he broke them with him actually. And they're very young. One is Edmund Reimer, is assistant coach, 38 years of age, and Christopher John, the other one, basically the first team coach, is 35 years of age. So they're really young coaches, but they've been with him since they were like 27, 26. So they've grown up under him. They are his most trusted man, actually. And also the fitness coach too, at Performance, Chris Domogala. This is the only one that he didn't bring along with him from Lipstad, because when he moved to Borussia Dortmund, the second team of Borussia Dortmund, he was already there. He met him there, and they started their working relationship there, and he brought him along with all these his managerial appointments in England and Germany. So it's a very proven work team, his coaching staff. They work together for years.
Formula, I mean, especially if they're all together when they won the championship, like they've been in the trenches together. They've done this war before, so that's what we need. And for the players, like if we've got any hope of people like Nonto staying, or even though I think it's unlikely, if there is any hope, then having that stability on the coaching team might just increase the chance a little bit more. Even though it's still 100%. Unlikely. But...
No, I think you're right, Lloyd, and having that group there. The coaches know what he wants. The coaches know what he needs. So if for whatever reason, they're not... I come back to that thing of Rennie Maric. Obviously, he might have had certain ideas, and it was clear when he left the club, he put that out on Twitter to let everybody know that he had certain ideas and he weren't allowed to get them across. And that's never good for a coaching environment, is it? At least with these guys, we know that Farke might be busy or whatever, but these lads who were around him, like great research by Andrea, as we come to expect all the time, to say that they've been with him, to say they've been with him, Lloyd, since basically he started out his coaching career. There were players under him. That's music to my ears,
Yeah, same actually.
And another thing, he bought them because he was the sporting director too at the time. He was the manager. And the sporting director.
He bought them. He bought them and then employed. I love that, man. That's even better.
So that shows, doesn't it? Like real trust in Farke.
Yeah.
They're all there for him as well to grow together. So hopefully.
Oh, you're getting me juices flowing here, man. I didn't know that. That's really nice. I'm all about that emotional side of it. I love it.
Yeah, I love
that's
it.
quality. Yeah, we're going to touch on a little bit of his style. There's been a great article put together by someone at the YEP, which I'm just going to try locate now because I crossed it off by accident. But Lockie, I'll come to you, being our resident tactics guy. What are your initial thoughts on Farke ball?
So I think one thing we will expect and we should get is a lot of energy, a lot of movement, like we saw, like I guess kind of choreographed, where every player is going to be. There's always an option. That's one thing I noticed. If it works, if the system works, there'll always be an option. There'll always be movement. It's when, at Borussia Mönchengladbach, he struggled at times with the players, maybe didn't fit his system, but it's very energetic. Of course, there's a press at times. If the press is beaten, they'll sit in a mid-block, so be solid. And then they'll look for width through fullbacks or wingers. The number 10 will interchange out wide to create overloads out wide. Things we're familiar with from previous managers, stuff we like to see. It's a good mix of, I guess you could kind of say, there's a bit of Klopp in there, but it's not identical to that. He's got his own stamp on it. Yeah, energetic, fun football. I think we'll enjoy it. I think we're going to really enjoy it, yeah.
Yeah, this article, I'm gonna flash it up now and just pick out a few of his points.
Playing out from the back as well, I've got to mention.
Yeah, that he's mentioned. I think this is music to my ears bit where he says, "I like us to be in possession." Like I forgot what that is. You know what I mean?
He wants to dominate the game. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, he wants us to be protagonists on the pitch. He likes us to be, or likes his teams to be in possession. He said there are some other philosophies that are good, such as working against the ball and creating counter actions. Jurgen Klopp, for example, did this in his first year at Dortmund and Leipzig. In that way, you work a lot on pressing, and when you win the ball, it goes immediately in the other direction. That can be successful and really attractive. But I like to be more in possession, more like Guardiola or Tuchel, or like Bayern Munich. He went on to speak about the really compact and solid defending in the Championship, which is something, Andrea, you've touched on before, the type of centre-backs that he likes and the need to control the game as well, being prepared for the counter-attack. I like this as well, because this is one thing, Andrea, that maybe got labelled at Bielsa a lot. He said it's important to have a plan B, C, D, and E. We always have clear principles, but you have to have different plans of how to bring these principles onto the pitch. And that's when he touches on his formations, being very fluid, sometimes playing with 4-1-4-1, 3-5-2 or 4-2-3-1. Andrea, that's exciting hearing that kind of speaking, because Jesse, sorry to have to bring it up, folks. He said, I'm not about tactics. I'm all about creating an environment. I guess with Javi, he tried to do certain things, but by that time, I think the players had already gone. I think Sam Allardyce only knows how to play one way, if we're being totally honest. So it's nice, Andrea, to see someone who's going to have loads of different ideas, right?
Absolutely. It's music to our ears. After it feels like we've been freed, liberated from certain styles of football. The narrow style of Jesse Marsh, the conservative style of Avi Gracia. I still remember the match against Leicester when we were winning, and then he retreated, didn't make substitutions because he wanted to defend the 1-0 instead of going forward. They weren't creating chances, and instead of going for the second, we just retreated back and trying to defend with no avail. The 1-0. It's great to read those things again, because you have to be flexible, you have to be versatile, you have to know how to play. With a tall number 9, a versatile tall number 9, they always had these two options at Norwich. They had Pukki and Rhodes, and then Pukki and Agil the second time they were in the Championship. So you have to adapt your formation. We've said it in the past too when we were talking about Farke. He adapts his style, 4-2-3-1, 4-1-4-1, which are two of the formations that we've seen widely under Bielsa, with Calvin as the holding midfielder in a 4-1-4-1. So it's great to hear that, and especially I really like the fact that the fullbacks will be attacking fullbacks back again, because recently we didn't have those kind of fullbacks. And honestly, the fact that we will have, if he plays that specific formation, wingers join the attack and making central cuts in order to do 1-2s to dialogue with the striker is good, and gives you multiple options because like we said the last night, Joe, with the older midfielder staying back, it gives you another option. So the key word is, like in the article, flexibility and versatility, and these two are fundamental, crucial in the modern game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Also, I had a fan on my tactics video that I did a few weeks ago, Farke, and I think he was a Borussia Mönchengladbach fan and a Leeds fan. I can't remember if he was both, but he commented saying obviously he struggled there, but I think he beat Bayern Munich. Is that right? Was it Bayern Munich?
Dortmund as well.
And Dortmund, yeah.
And he said, so what he did, so the team, that team he was at there, Borussia Mönchengladbach, was more set up for counter-attacks. So against Bayern Munich, he played a little bit of a press, but then when he needed to, he'd sit really deep and then counter him, and you couldn't deal with it. So that shows that adaptability again. I think for me, the vital thing is he's a coach that really requires players, a very specific type of player in each position. Do you know what I mean? So that's why we have to identify those right players and get the right players for him. Otherwise, you will struggle in his system because it's quite complex for a player. You know, you have to be good at certain things. So we have to back him right.
Yeah.
Lloyd, do you have confidence that this current ownership, I know we don't know an awful lot about them now, and they are very quiet and they're doing things, you know, moving in silence, but do you expect him to get the backing? Because I do at this moment in time.
Definitely, yeah. And about them moving in silence, like deep down, I love it. But that hasn't stopped me from moaning about it at the same time. It's like, well, what, you know. But yeah, no, I do think they're going to back him, and I'm hoping not just with the parachute payments. Like if we are going to offload all these players like Harrison, you know, Nonto, Adams, then I'm hoping he sees a lot of the money to go and get, like Lockie was saying, he needs specific players. He can't just go and get anyone in that position. He needs certain players to fit his style. So I'm hoping the 49ers say, look, you tell us who you want and we'll go get them for you.
Yeah. I think you bang on the money there. And I think, like you say, if there is, I mean, Andrea, the kid at Chelsea who you like, the Italian. Yeah. So how do you say his name? Sorry.
Cesare Casadei.
Casadei. So him though, for example.
You want to give him a try?
No, well, Cesare Casadei.
Nailed it. Okay. Brilliant.
There
perfect,
you go then.
Perfect.
So, for example, Leicester are moving for him. Let's say Leeds United entered the race. You would hope with the 49ers, they'll go, do you know what? We'll not back out. We'll actually give you a little bit more to make sure we get this one over the line.
Yeah, hopefully, because he's a brilliant player, and I think with Farke's system, he will do really well because he can play in various positions, and like we just said, we need versatility and flexibility, and he's tall, not like Sam Field, of course, but he's a different kind of player. And at the World Cup, he was at the under 20 World Cup. He was really good because he's like a box-to-box midfielder. He's a very powerful shot. He's good on headers. He's good on defensive end too and the attacking end too. Because when they defend, of course, Italy under 20 goes very narrow and back when they defend and then counter attack. That's the style of play under the manager Nunziata. But he's very good when he joins the attack because in order to get a comparison in England, you remember when Gerrard, of course, he's a big example. You remember Gerrard joined the attack and used to cut through the lines when he was at Liverpool. It's that type of solution he has in his range, you know. So I really hope he'll join because honestly, it'd be a very good shout, you know, in terms of loan from the loan market, like Sheffield United did this season with McAtee and Doyle.
Yeah. Now, just while we're on transfers, let's get stuck into some news. Obviously, we know about Rodrigo and co. We know about these, but there's been some sort of breaking news. We know that Brendan Aaronson was wanted by Fulham. Seems to have gone very, very quiet. I remember when the article was put together, it was very much on the line of Fulham maybe were a little bit unwilling to meet the 100% of the wages that we'd expect to be played and whatever else on top. But Union Berlin, who I believe just qualified for Europe as well. Yes, they have. They're looking to bolster out their squad and see Brendan Aaronson as an option. Obviously, they finished fourth in Bundesliga last season and are considering a move for Aaronson, who is available following relegation. Does say Leeds inserted wage reductions and relegation buyout clauses in the event of relegation, which would see the likes of Aaronson targeted this summer. The USA international has been linked with Fulham, but also has admirers in Germany who scouted him while playing in Austria for RB Salzburg. The Midfield Messi went to the World Cup last season and is among the Leeds players expected to move to stay in one of the elite leagues. What are your thoughts? I'll come to you, Lloyd. Obviously, I'm not too concerned about Brendan Aaronson, to be honest, but do you think he's more suited to, say, the Bundesliga than he was the Prem? I think for me, he's better off going to Union Berlin than staying in the Premier League with Fulham, for example.
Then going to Fulham. Only thing I would say with Brendan Aaronson, he's very frustrating because I believe somewhere there is a really good player there, and like Lockie was saying about the conservative pressing that Farke adopts. So maybe under Farke, he would be more suited to under Jesse Marsh rather than running around like a headless chicken. It's conservative, but I know he's not going to go. But I just feel like he has got potential, but he's just too weak on the ball. So I think the Bundesliga is definitely more suited to him than going on loan to Fulham. I feel like it would just be pot kettle, the same as what happened to him last season. So. Yeah.
I totally agree with you. I think
you're right.
He probably needs to move out of England. To be honest, I don't think it's worked for him. I think maybe the move came almost too early. I think he should have maybe moved to the Bundesliga first, maybe before, because it's clearly he needs to get on the way. So I'm not too concerned about him leaving. It'll be interesting to see how that one develops. Does anyone have a difference of opinion? Would they like to see him stay around this season?
I don't know if I'm bothered about him leaving at this point, to be honest, with Farke, but I'm well, a lot of my subscribers who already all know I backed him a lot. A lot of that is based on, it reminds me, I was small when I played football, you know. People used to tell me all the time.
Where are you from, Lockie?
Brighouse.
Was it? Oh, so the Brighouse Beckenbauer or something like that.
But that's what. So I used to sympathise with him a lot, in terms of the physical stuff. And for me, with Brendan Aaronson, it was all mental. I just think when he went down, I think that was him just giving up on everything. When you felt contact go down instead of just fighting through it and running with the ball. I think it was all mental to him and a lot of the players. And he did struggle, but I remember the first 5-6 games of the season, and he were really good.
It was brilliant.
And I really wanted, I wanted to see that player, and it was so frustrating. And I did a video of my most disappointing, and I put Brendan in it because it was frustrating and annoying. Like, there is talent there. I just think the Bundesliga is a good area for him, less pressure potentially. He probably won't play every single minute of every game, even when he's in bad
Jesse
form.
Beasted him, didn't he?
Yeah,
Jesse
Beasted him. Yeah. He absolutely did him, I think. And I think it'd be good for him. But if we can get a fee for him, sell him. I'm all right with it now.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I said the last time, I think I thought he would have moved to, if he was to move, of course, to the Bundesliga, especially because his brother is playing there too, and he's had a good stint actually when he joined Eintracht Frankfurt there from January. He's played better than his brother actually. Paxton Aaronson he's played better than, has adapted better to Europe than Brendan this season. I think, like Lockie said, it will suit him, actually, the style of play. Of course, he won't play week in and week out. He'll have to gain his place into the starting 11 because Union Berlin are a team that changed very little the starting lineup. But I have a bench with players that bring on different options. And I think from the bench at the beginning can be a good option for them, especially now that they have qualified for the first time to the Champions League. And it's mental because they were like 3 years ago in the Zweite Bundesliga in the second division. And they will be a good club for him, looking at the environment too, because they're very like a family club, actually.
Yeah, I was just going to say as well, for me, he's a winger.
Yeah.
He's a winger.
It's built like
his profile, his dribbling, he was good at dribbling, he could take a man on, he flew past people, quick feet, just, I was thinking everything he did good for Leeds. For me, he was on the wing. I just think he was lost in the middle in that system as well.
And he hadn't really got the stature. I know you don't have to be big to play in the middle because
if you're not big, you have to be extremely technical.
Good, exactly, technical.
Like Bernardo Silva,
like Pablo.
Exactly. And he hasn't got that, has he? You know what I mean? He's got it
for me.
I think he could have done with a bit of time out the firing line, and he never got that. Like, there's a period of the season where I think he should have just missed like 4 or 5 games, and he might have come back mentally a bit better. Because, like Lockie says, I think a lot of it was up here with him. Yeah,
and I think the World Cup didn't help him. I think he's just a very young lad, and moving to a new country, him and his missus, and being on his own and struggling maybe. I don't think he was as tight with Adams as, say, him and McKennie were. Do you know what I mean? So it was very much, he probably struggled there. And then when he went away at the World Cup, he barely played. And we know at the World Cup, it was an absolute shit show with this rain of stuff and Berhalter stuff. And it was just, I don't think it was a great camp. So, loads of factors. It's sad, but I think, like you say, I think if we can get a fee or get his wage off the books, I think we'd all be okay with it, right?
Yeah, right. But the real problem, if he stays, of course, we played in a number 10 because we had a lot of wingers last season too. But and Mas thought that he was mainly a number 10 more than a winger. But this season, of course, if he stays and we try to play him on the wing, it's not like it's more like a link-up winger, linking up with the central midfielders. It's not like one that likes to dribble, that gets one-on-one, you know. And I think we need in Farke's system players that can dribble, players that have pace. You know, I don't think he'll have a clear path on that wing, actually, because we still have at this certain moment a lot of wingers. Of course, some of them will leave, but I think Farke has a very clear idea when it comes to wingers on what they have to do, of course, in his system. And I don't think Aaronson will fit in that system because it's more like a link-up player. In
a number 10 role in Farke's system, they need to be technical, and he's not the most technical player. So
you just have a look at Buendia, don't you? You know what I mean? What he did there. So.
If we had a young Pablo in this system,
it'd
be phenomenal.
Yeah, it would be. So there's been a tweet put out by MLS Transfers, and like the title said, it's a bit mad, really, you know, because just before I touch on this, you know, we were all like, there was all these American players and that, and I think going into next season, there's going to be none left. You know what I mean? Like, everyone was going,
they're all gone.
Yeah, but everyone used to say, it's the 49ers. It's the 49ers bringing all the Americans in, when it's clear that wasn't the case, was it? It seemed to be very much, Victor Orta. Bart's hammering the chat with Brighouse Beckham, mate. So I'll quickly put that up because he's hammering the chat. But listen, it's been reported that Aston Villa have been negotiating with Leeds for Tyler Adams, but can't find common ground on price. That already is music to my ears, by the way, because the previous ownership would have probably just accepted the first bid. So if these reports are true, at least we know that the 49ers are going, well, no, that's not enough for us, you know, and we need them to be like that, because we've seen with Leicester City, they've been very shrewd with Maddison, and they've got what they needed, you know, 40 million for a player in the last year of his contract, very good deal. I'm led to believe they won't accept anything less than 30 for Harvey Barnes, and there's a lot of clubs after him as well. Similar clubs to what are after Tyler. So, you know, I guess we'll go around. Lloyd, I'll come to you, mate. Like, you must be positive hearing that the club are batting away potential bids.
Yeah, it's good that they're not just rolling over and letting them tickle their belly and actually having a bit of a backbone. I'm not sure how much, maybe 25 million. The thing is, I just wonder, in a system where we've got more possession, whether Tyler Adams is like quite replaceable in the Championship, even though I think he's a brilliant player. I feel like now we're going to hopefully have more of the possession, then I feel like we could replace him easier than if we were still in the Premier League, so to speak.
No, I get it. So
if we get 25 million and reinvest it, then
100%, mate. I was asked, obviously, I'm in a few group chats with different shows that I go on, and one of the lads asked me about Adams because West Ham apparently have entered the race as well at 30 million, apparently. And I said to him, you know, limited on the ball. So good defensively, but I just don't think he's that great on the ball. Great engine, covers ground deceptively quick, can win things, but he's very much, for me, I think back to the 90s and like the water carrier, if they're like, they'd have someone who win the ball and then give it to those that can play. I feel like I'm being maybe a little bit disrespectful there, but he does lack technically on the ball, I think.
And his passing isn't amazing, is it? But
no,
he's a brilliant player, but like you say, I feel like just in a system that we hopefully will be playing, he's quite replaceable, I think, at quite a cheap price as well. I think you could probably pick up, I don't know, 5 to 10 million. You could get someone who could do just as good a job as him in the Championship. In the Championship,
for sure. Just bringing back up the article, Andrea. So it says Milan inquired in recent weeks, but have passed on. And this is an interesting point. Sevilla also did, but wouldn't go above 15 million euros. What a shock there.
They're in trouble now, aren't they?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, I've done that again. Go on, Andrea. Talk to me about that one, bro.
About the AC Milan, you mean?
Milan and Sevilla. Victor Orta up to his madness.
AC Milan. I don't think they have. Of course, they have passed because they've just brought in a Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and they have just one other place in the squad open for a non-EU player. And Adams is American because their main target are now Kamada from Eintracht Frankfurt and Chukwueze from Villarreal. So they get one of these two, unless they sell one other player, one non-EU player from the squad, they are limited. So they were linked to Sinisterra too, but they weren't.
So I've seen that. So you don't think Sinisterra goes to Milan because of the European quota,
for this situation, and especially for the price. If it's real, we've asked our price tag is 25 millions. There's no way they're paying that because they've struggled to pay 35 millions for the Ketelere last season. Maldini had to negotiate and convince their ownership, Redbird, to spend that sum in order to get the Ketelere. So they're not a big spending club right now. They're looking for free transfers. And so I don't think either of these two links are going to happen because of the non-EU player situation, especially because Adams was linked to AC Milan during the World Cup too. And Sevilla, unfortunately, Orta had a tendency to overspend when he was with us, and now he doesn't have to overspend because they have 90 millions of debts. I feel sorry for them, honestly. Yeah, exactly. It's like how do you say? It's like a particular case. He used to overspend here, and now he cannot overspend. So going past 50 millions, it's worth more than 50 million, Tyler Adams. And if they can spend 50 million for Tyler Adams, more than 50 million for Tyler Adams, guess what they won't spend for other players. They will be very limited in this transfer campaign. And from Spain, they said that the whole squad is. They will listen for offers for every player of the squad if the offers comes in. So they're really in a bad situation. So that's why the Sevilla move is not going to happen too. And they've ruled out that.
Just before, because I tell you what then. So we've got West Ham, Brighton, Forest, Milan. West Ham,
Villa.
Yeah.
But they have signed Tielemans and they have Douglas Lewis. So
true. But they are reportedly interested. I'll go around the houses. Which makes the most sense for him? Like where do you see Adams playing, or do you see him staying at Leeds United? I'll come to you first, Lockie.
I think he'll go Prem.
Yeah,
potentially. I think he proved last year he can play there. He played really well for Leeds when he was fit. Solid. If you get him in a system that works for him, I think he'll just shine. And I was just going to say on that as well, the value of it, if it's 20, 25 million, I love Adams to bits, don't get me wrong. I really do. But think about what you could get with that. You're talking someone like Sam Fields, Hamer, potentially.
Gus Hamer,
There's your two central midfielders right there. Yeah. And then you could get 2 or 3 loans with that money as well.
Yeah.
And then you've got Darko JB coming through, who I'm all about, by the way. Probably too much. So for me, you lose an Adams, which is a loss. But if you invest it right, you've got 3 or 4 more players in that position.
Exactly. 100%. And then he's not the only exit as well, right? You then throw in Cini. You then throw in Melier. You then throw in all these players, even 3.8 off Rodrigo, but then the money you save on wages. There is money there to be sense. Vlaho Villa says Brighton probably makes the most sense. I was going to say that. I think Brighton would be a smart move for Tyler. What is it? Do you agree, Lloyd?
I agree, yeah. And also, it looks like they're getting rid of Caicedo, and they're in the Europa League, and I just feel like that's a nice step up.
Of course.
Whereas Forest, I don't know, at Forest, he would probably stand out a bit more because, like we were saying, you know, Forest normally have less of the possession, and that's where you sort of notice Tyler Adams more. But in terms of for his career, I feel like Brighton would be a good move for him. Yeah, to Brighton, I think. Definitely not Italy. I don't know.
Yeah. Let me just bring up this. Stop vaping on camera, Joe. Not professional and gives wrong messages to you. Neil, I just to give you a heads up, mate, right? Okay. I've actually stopped smoking actual cigarettes. So I'm in the process of quitting, okay? This has got 18 milligrams of nicotine. I've then got 12, 6 and 3. So in a couple of weeks, it'll be non-existent. So cut me some slack, Neil, all right? For any young people watching, do not smoke. It's too expensive and it's not good for your health. I'm doing this to try and stop, bro. But if you come in for professionalism on my show, you're on the wrong show, brother. Let me just tell you that. Let me just get some super chats up. We've got one here from Daniel Ager who says, "Hi, Joe and guest. Which midfield player do you want to see sealed this summer?" Andrea, I'll come to you.
Sealed, you mean brought in the...
Yeah, brought in. Brought in,
well, honestly, I want Mike as a day, honestly, like we said previously.
The Chelsea Loney, yeah?
Yeah, the Chelsea Loney. And about Adams, I said Brighton in the past, but listening to what Lloyd said about the system of Farke is really similar to the Derby, so I think the best solution for it will be West Ham actually looking at the system Moyes play there.
Cool. I'm gonna opt for Gus Hamer. I think I'm gonna go for Gus Hamer. Lockie, thoughts? Who's your pick?
Gus Hamer. I just think he fits the profile we need, and he could play in various positions as well. But that's reliant on whether he'll go to the Prem, I reckon, because I think there'll be a few teams sniffing around. Yeah, cool. Sandberg's a good one.
And what about you, Lloyd?
Hamer as well. I was literally going to say him, but like Lockie says, I think he would suit our system, and he's obviously proven at this level. But I don't know. I feel like when a player has like a good season in the Championship, and then they get the opportunity to go, they've sort of like they've done the hard slog, and they sort of take it. So I think he'll go to the Prem. But I'd like to get Hamer.
What about this one? A few people have mentioned it. Big up D, Lewis O'Brien, Terry Philippe, Tim Mason. He will be available. Obviously, he was at Forest. He was in their squad. Then they brought in a load of new players and he couldn't be registered. He was then going to be loaned to Blackburn, I think, and they couldn't get him registered. So he had to go out to Dallas under, is it Dallas? Yeah.
DC United, I think.
DC United, sorry. Which is Dallas, no?
No, it was Washington.
John Griffey's not my strong point. This is what I'm saying about that professionalism, brother. No, it is. It's DC United, Wayne Rooney, and obviously Mateus Click. I'd actually be on board with Lewis O'Brien. What we're saying, folks? Would you have a bit of that?
Him.
Yeah.
Good option.
That's the thing. If we could sell Adams for, I don't know, 20, 25 million and pick Lewis O'Brien up at, a fraction of that price, I think O'Brien could do a similar job to Adams in the Championship. So I think that'd be a good bit of business if we got rid of Adams and got in.
Yeah. Similar to Farshaw, isn't he?
Yeah,
very much so. Yeah,
it's similar on defensive end too, to Adams, but don't get me wrong. Just to the Championship, I mean, just related to the Championship, he has better passing in terms of DL level, and I think he'll fit the style too. I really liked him when he was with Huddersfield, actually.
Yeah. I'm just having a look now. Does anyone know the fee that he went to Forest for? I'm just gonna have a look on transfer.
I think it was that much.
No, I don't think it was either. I'm just trying to look.
From Huddersfield to Forest?
Yeah. Do you know?
Was it about 8 million or something?
10 million.
10 million. Yeah. See, you can pick. You'll probably get him less than that as well, won't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this is the thing with Adams. When when teams are willing to pay 20, 25 million, if that is to believe, you kind of, you've got to think about something.
I've read the name in the chat actually that I've watched play live this season in Italy. I think it'd be good. They used to play him as a centre back in Italy, and it was a mess because he's not a centre back. Ampadu actually would be a good shout too.
Who? Sorry,
Ampadu went to Ethan Ampadu.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
Ampadu.
Because he's good in midfield. He's a good midfielder. He can defend when he plays as a centre back, but he's very good in midfield. I've seen him play with Spezia a few times this season live, and he's good positioning and dictates the play when he plays in midfield.
Where's he at now, right? Where's he at?
Spezia. They've been relegated.
Did he move there? Did he move there permanently? Because
No.
was he Chelsea? Did he come through Chelsea ranks, Ethan Ampadu?
Still from Chelsea, Joe. Still.
He's still there. Is he still at Chelsea?
Yeah.
He's been on loan, hasn't he, for ages?
Wow. Okay. Wow. It's another one of them. Then I thought he'd moved on for some reason. Did he play at Sheffield United for a bit, Ethan?
Yeah, Sheffield and Venezia relegated,
Right.
and
Relegated every
Spezia
time.
relegated again.
Yeah.
Three seasons straight. Maybe it's time to get promoted.
Yeah, maybe. We've spoken about this before, but I'm going to come to Lloyd just to get his opinion on it, because it seems like the only credible. Like, I'm not saying the ones that we haven't spoken about aren't credible, but one that we can back, because Graham Smith's spoken about it, as has Adam Pope and Phil here, is the link to centre back Nat Phillips. Apparently, he's only on around about 24 grand a week currently. Around Liverpool want 10. I don't think Leeds they might get close to that, but I don't think we'll meet them and say, yes, there's 10 million. But what's your thoughts on potential signing in Nat Phillips?
I think he'd be a really good signing. It's definitely an area we have to strengthen in. You see Leicester went out and got Cody. Like, I'm surprised they didn't get Phillips instead, because I feel like in a championship, especially as Lockie says, Farke likes to play out from the back. He's really, really comfortable on the ball, and I think that'd be a good addition, definitely.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement on Nat Phillips, aren't we? I think it's
It's just crazy that like the season starts in 30 odd days, and all these names we're talking about, they've all got to go and come, and so much has got to happen. It's like, my
only worry with the Nat Phillips thing is I struggle to think you could play him and Creswell together. I just think they're too similar. I think the system will require quicker, more athletic defender.
Yeah.
So that'd be something we'd have to figure out if that's what they were doing. It's good to have.
Do you then worry that Creswell could be for the sale pile then?
Oh, I hope not. But I watched him the other day for the 21s, and he was all right. He did look a bit slow. He's very slow, you know. He's very slow. But, you know, he's good on the ball as well as Creswell. He's good in the air. His positional's good. But, yeah, I hope not. I hope keep him.
Yeah, you have to get or either Creswell or Phillips in that case, and then the one that's playing, of course, with Weber or Strauch.
Are we confident Weber stays? Because of the players that Leeds United want to keep hold of, i.e. Harrison, Adams, who else was it? Nonto and Weber, they're the ones that they've mentioned. I think it's clear they're not going to be able to keep Adams. I don't think we're going to be able to keep Nonto. It's very quiet on Harrison, but my thinking is, whilst Harrison's at this football club, we need to be worried as Leeds fans right up until midnight on the end of transfer deadline day, because he's available. You know, you come in, you
16 million relegation clause apparently.
Exactly.
I'm actually surprised how quiet it is. I haven't seen really any links with Harrison, and I'm like, he's probably.
My only thought process is, Lloyd, is Harvey Barnes is ahead of him. Once Harvey Barnes goes somewhere, I think the rest will then go for Jack Harrison.
Next to be eyed up,
yeah. Because from what I heard from Lots and this group chat I'm part of, someone who's actually linked to, I won't share the name, but knows Barnes' agency apparently, and someone who was actually at Leicester training ground, they were steaming off his pictures off the training ground, you know, like the things. So I think Barnes is going to leave. And apparently it's Newcastle, it's Villa, it's West Ham. I think a lot of clubs are after him. So wherever he does go, I think then Harrison for me will be, because I could see Harrison fitting in at Villa, fitting in at West Ham, you know, as a squad option.
Like that.
Yeah.
Harrison's he's a good professional, isn't he? He's got really good.
I rate him, mate. I love him, mate. I genuinely love him.
It's the type of player who can fit into a lot of systems. He's just good at everything.
I feel like he's been a bit underappreciated in the last 3-4 seasons.
Scapegoat.
I get the inconsistent thing, but when you look at stats, he's still been the most consistent performer in terms of assistant goals for us. So he's I get it. I do get he is consistent, but he's still more consistent than everyone else apparently. So
especially how poor we've been for the last 2 seasons. I mean, take Rafinha aside, like it's hard for anyone to consistently play well in a team that's getting battered every week.
I think if he finds the right system, like he really performed very well and consistently under Bielsa. When Bielsa left, the inconsistency came later on with Marsh especially. So if he finds a right system for him, I think he can be a very good squad player, especially if he looks to move to a mid-table, higher European places. I mean, Europa or Conference League team. I think they can have him in their squad. I think they won't rule that out because he's a good squad player. He was even rumored about a call up for England, if you remember, before the Euro last time, because he had the majority.
He should have done as well. He should have got one, in my opinion, at the time.
Yeah, absolutely, because he was in that season. I don't think the first, maybe the second or third in contributions during the build-up to goals, actually. In that season.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think if you look at our Premier League stint, I know players have left, like Lloyd mentioned, Rafinha, etc. But numbers-wise, he's probably the best. Like he's been the most.
And you can't argue that, can you?
No. And I got shot down for saying it, but although he was inconsistent over that stint in the Premier League, he was probably our most consistent performer.
Aaronson is the type of player, as a coach, he's the perfect footballer for you.
Yeah,
he'll do whatever you say, no attitude, and most of the time he'll do what you say as well. So,
he's a soldier in terms of mentality.
Definitely, I agree. There you go. So Villa fan there, Vlaho Villa says he's undoubtedly a Premier League player. Paul says, I think the reason Leicester got Cody is because they are going to a back three. He is a Rolls Royce in a back three system, speaking as a Wolves player. It's clear, Wolves fan, sorry. Yeah, it's clear he's better in a back three because as soon as Everton went to a back two, he got dropped, you know what I mean? We seen that with Sean Dyche. Good luck to him. You know, is what it is. But he's a Leicester player.
They're our rivals now, aren't they?
Exactly.
They play with three at the back. Maresca play with three at the back with Parma. So they're going to play three at the back.
Definitely. Daniel says, hi, Joe. Cini is staying at Leeds. Is anyone confident that'll happen? I don't see it personally.
I love it too, but no.
I think the only thing that could work in our advantage is that his injury record is horrendous. Yeah. And teams might be like, well, I don't know. Because what would we ask for? We'd probably ask for a fair amount. So if
I think we try and get what we paid for him, 25 million.
Yeah.
I think.
And
so I think that's fair, bro. I think that's fair.
Imagine if he was fit for 30 games, like just...
I know. I mean, if he was fit for the season, I don't think we'd probably be in this.
No, I don't think so.
Still young too, eh? Still young too.
Yeah.
If we could keep him, he would cook the championship if he was fit. But...
Yeah, he'd ruin it.
Mate, he'd be playing with your hands down. Like, definitely. Like Gabe says here, big up Gabe as well. By a country mile.
Yeah,
get his injury.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
when he chipped it over that guy's head and just banged it into the bottom corner, I went, he's different.
Come on. Yeah, it'd be mad. He would kill it in the championship. As the Farke appointment, when it gets ratified, I'm starting to get excited again. It's been doing my head in, and I think as fans, we want, like Lloyd said, I think Lloyd hit the nail on the head. It's like a double-edged sword. You're happy they're moving in silence, but at the same time, you're like, I create content. Just give me some. Yeah. I don't know how I've got through this week managing 2 videos a day.
I had to do an update video.
I don't know how you've done that.
Unreal work rate. Unreal work rate.
Honestly,
yeah, I'm like scratching my head going, what can I talk about now?
But, like the statue, the one.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never said the word dominoes and cards on the table. I never said the word so many times in my life. Jesus.
I know, exactly, man. It's mad. But I think I said this, that it'd be very busy up to this point, and it hasn't been. But I think once the EFL's ratification is given and Farke's in, obviously 1st of July, which is tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
1st?
Yeah.
Well, the European market's open then. So now because I think Farke will bring a lot from Germany as well. I think he will go into that German market and bring a lot over
it as well.
Yeah,
and the data, especially the data approach, like we said the other, it fits very well for this system. And looking at the fact that he used that too at Norwich.
And you've just to look at Vincent Kompany. He brought in loads from Belgium, didn't he, when he took over at Burnley?
Cullen,
you know. So hopefully Hopefully.
Oh, I can't
We're
wait.
We're gonna cook. I can't wait now. I'm getting excited.
Right,
tomorrow's the 1st of July.
Someone can clip this, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to say, someone clip this, right? But I'm saying this right now before I forget. Darko JB is going to cook this year.
No, I agree, bro.
Clip that.
I agree. Yeah. I thought you were going to say something controversial. That's just standard.
Yeah.
Here's something for you. Here's something for you. Leeds United are going to win the championship by more than 10 points. By more than 10 points. No, I'm excited, man. It is what it is. Jamie says announcement will be Monday now. Probably, mate.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I have to say too that we stick with Farke even when Vieira was the favorite. So we always wanted Farke to happen. Actually.
We did, bro. Remember,
that's why we're excited now.
Yeah, we were on this Farke train.
I wanted Corberhan or Farke. Both of them were my preferred.
Yeah.
So then when I heard about Vieira, I was honestly like in the worst mood because it looked like it was just going to happen like really quick. Like, all the wheels were going. I was like, oh my god, like it's going to be announced tonight. Like but it died off.
Yeah, Gabe says some of us wanted Raul. I wanted Raul for about 20 minutes of a podcast.
When we get promoted to Prem, just wait.
Yes, Danny Rumsey, regular watcher, says Leeds ain't winning the league. Why not? Guys? Why won't we win the league? Or do you think we can?
If we don't, it's because we'll get recruitment wrong, in my opinion. I think that's the only thing.
Yeah.
I think
Farke's proven he's not the issue. If you recruit the right players for him, he's proven. So
when the fixtures come out, I looked at them and I was just like, normally I look at the championship and I feel like every game looks really difficult. But I was just going through it and I was just thinking we could beat them.
Yeah,
I know it'll never work out like that, but I think we can win it.
No, so do I.
I think Leicester as well. I do think they'll be good. I know you have some jokes, Joe.
I think so.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
And
I keep telling Locks, honestly, me and him have arguments back and forth. I hope they don't.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, Sim.
Yeah, it's just the recruitment right now because there's lots of good teams. Norwich. There'll be teams investing. Boro. There's
Sunderland.
Sunderland.
Yeah.
Do you know what though? Right, when we came down before, we never had these parachute payments, and when Leicester have gone out right and got Cody and they're getting Harry Winks for 10 million, the reaction from EFL fans, they've been calling him the PSG of the championship and that, right? Like Locks has actually changed his profile photo to the PSG badge, but with Leicester City in it. So what that shows me is that if you spend the cash, you should dominate this league. Like you should. And like you've said, the thing is, we're going down this time with cash to spend, right? The 49ers are going to put capital in. We've got players to sell. We've got parachute payments. So I think you bang on the money when you say the only thing that will mess this up is if we recruit poorly. The fact that Victor is not here, and I think the 49ers will have a better model, a little bit more assured model, then that's why I don't understand those that say we're not winning it, we're going to end up mid-table, etc. For me,
I always say
everything's there.
Just because you buy the best players, it doesn't always guarantee success. We've seen it when Stoke came down, they bought and struggled massively. Even Leicester, they shouldn't be down here based on the players they have, but they are because it clearly didn't work. And that's what I mean. You've got to get the right players for the right manager. So it doesn't always guarantee success.
I think people are overrating Leicester right now. They'll be good, but I think there's an overreaction because
I'm with you, brother man.
Because your mate Locks will rage probably because of this, the Leicester fan. I think that right now they're overreacting over Leicester because of course they're bringing in good players like for their type of football through Cody and Winks, of course. But I don't know honestly if Leicester will be that consistent throughout the league, honestly, because I don't see them being a consistent club in the championship in terms of wins after win after win after win. I don't know honestly. We'll have to see. Of course, now it's a suspended judgment because of course we can just judge on the current squad. On the current squads. I think before the first week of the season we'll have to have this chat again probably.
Yeah, for sure.
We've just been battered first game.
I've just been sent a link actually from someone. I just want to bring up this. Just one sec.
Just going to say, as we're looking for that, how many have Leicester only signed? Has they signed Cody yet?
I don't think it's official, but I think, him and Winks, right? Winks at 10 million as well. You know, I think that's a bit pricey.
Thing is,
do you think it's pricey or not?
We've got a bit of an advantage over Leicester. Like, I know they're quite happy with their appointment, but I feel like I'd be more confident with Daniel Farke. Like he's done it twice before. It's such a pivotal point that he's won it twice before, not just promoted. He's won it. Like he knows what he's doing at that level, and who knows if Leicester's new manager, he might come a bit unstuck Tuesday, Saturday. So time will tell. But I'm quite the fact we've got Farke gives me more confidence that we'll win the league.
100%. And a lot's been made about his sacking, but listen, they were 10th. He didn't take Mönchengladbach down. He didn't, finish towards it. He finished 10th. You know what I mean? It wasn't that bad. If you look at Maresca's last job, he was sacked. He was sacked at
Didn't Farke have to sell some of his best players as well?
I think there was
and just add to Ramos a lone striker. No backup.
There you go. Recruitment.
Let me just bring up this as well. So this has been shared. Everton are showing interest in Leeds forward Rodrigo. It's been reported that he was on the verge of move to La Liga club Sevilla, but talks have since broken down after personal terms could not be agreed. Leeds were relegated to the Championship last season, which has led speculation over several players. Everton seem to be circling around all our players, don't they? Do you think that's a smart move for him, or?
I hope he don't. Does he want to be part of that relegation scrap again? Does he really? Can he be bothered with that?
I'd rather move abroad.
Go to Spain and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Rodrigo. I do like Rodrigo,
and
I'd rather him just go abroad or go to Al and get a good payout.
Go there. When I heard, was it Carl Robinson talk about him saying he was playing through pain? I was like, I respect that man.
Yeah. And he loves it. He loves Leeds, Rodrigo. Yeah. I know, he gets his critics and stuff, and his time at us wasn't always amazing, but he does. I feel like he does really care.
Yeah.
Look at every goal celebration he did. That's a guy who cares, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope he goes to the Liga if he's to move. But honestly, I think he'll play a prominent role at Everton because, of course, the one challenge for European places. They are not a spending club, and the relegation clause of Rodrigo is just 3 million. So it will make sense for them to invest the sum in Rodrigo. You know,
how is it 3 million? Like why? Oh. Like 10 or something.
The answer is simple. The answer is simple. Victor Orta.
Yeah. Like the mad thing is, now it's more. But imagine last year. Imagine the first season would have gone down at 3.5 million. It'd been even worse. Do you know what I mean? It was spent 27 million on him. He's done nothing, and then we're selling him for 3.5. It'd been mad, but
it's had a few years now, but.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. Right, folks, we've done over an hour. It's been an absolute pleasure. There's been almost 800 people in the house tonight, which is absolutely amazing. Please do go check out all 3 of these lovely guests' content. Sorry, Andrea over on Twitter. Link is in the description. You've got Lloyd over at Let's Talk Leeds United. Link is in the description to his YouTube channel, and of course, Lucky Leeds as well. Go over and check that. All channels are in the description, so make sure you check them out. And if you haven't subscribed to me, please do subscribe as well. Smash a like on the video, all that jazz. We'll be back tomorrow with something a little bit different. It's Money in the Bank, so I'm gonna give it a bash. Why not? We'll have a bit of chit chat over the wrestling. We the ones and all that jazz. If you don't know what that is, it's gone over your head, but it is what it is. Everyone secretly loves it. They just dare admit it. I think that's what it is.
I was Stone Cold Steve Austin and all them. That were my era.
Yeah, man. Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, man.
Attitude era.
Yeah, man. Attitude era. That's the one. Check out everyone's content, and I'll see you in a bit. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you all hopefully tomorrow. Maybe we'll get some Leeds news. I don't know. Peace out, folks.